Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be a super easy pancake recipe. It's going to be a holiday recipe, and I'm making little Christmas trees or Yule trees, whatever you call them. And I'm going to be using very simple ingredients that pretty much everybody has on hand to make this recipe. So I'm just starting with mashing one banana, and I'm going to mash that down, and then I'm going to go ahead and add my plant-based milk. I'm going to add cinnamon. You can add whatever you like. If you want to add something other than cinnamon, if you want to add like nutmeg or something like that, you can go ahead and add that in as well. So I'm not adding any sugar into these pancakes because I will be adding in my maple syrup to top it later. So I feel like that's enough along with the cinnamon in order to sweeten up everything. Plus the banana is already really ripe, so it's nice and sweet, and that adds a lot of natural sweetness to the pancakes. If you want to, however, you can add in a little bit of coconut sugar or whatever sugar you have on hand. You can put a tablespoon of that in it just to sweeten it up further. So I am using a milk that I don't use all the time, but this one is a vanilla almond breeze, and I'm going to add a little bit of that in, and that already has some sugar in it as well. So again, I don't feel like I need to add any extra sugar, but anyway, completely up to you. You decide what you want to do, but this is how I'm doing it. So I'm adding in 1/3 of a cup, and I really feel like that is enough because I feel like if you add more, your pancakes are going to be too runny, and you want them to be a little bit more on the thicker side. So 1/3 of a cup is more than enough, and yeah, I'm just going to give that a little mix. And then if you wanted to, you could also add a little bit of vanilla extract. I didn't into these pancakes, but sometimes I do depending on my mood. So I'm going ahead and adding in that cinnamon, and then my oat flour is going to come into play. So I use oat flour because that's what I make at home in my Vitamix, so that's typically what I use the most if I don't use brown rice flour. So I'm going ahead and adding my oat flour in, and I'm adding 1/2 cup of that. Okay, so and then go ahead and just give that a nice good mix, and then it's ready to be baked in the oven, or you can make it on a regular frying pan on your stovetop. Okay guys, so here is the pan that I found at the dollar store. It's just a Betty Crocker cast iron little Christmas tree pan, and you can make little cakes in it and whatnot, but I decided to do little pancakes. So I only bought one, and I regret it. I should have bought two because I had to bake one little Christmas tree pancake, remove it from the oven, and then bake the second one. If I had two, they could go in at the same time because this recipe will make two pretty big little Christmas trees in this cast iron dish. So if I see one, I'm going to pick up a second one that worked out really well, and I didn't have to add any extra oil into it. It's already pre-seasoned, so it didn't stick. It was fine. All I did was use a plastic knife because that's all I had. I didn't have any silicone to try to remove it without scratching the cast iron, so be mindful of that when you're removing your pancake or little cake, whatever you're making in the little dish. Make sure that you are careful not to scratch it. So if you're in Canada, they probably still have them. They are at Dollarama if you're interested in picking one up. So they say with cast iron that you have to add a little bit of oil and just rub it in, and that way it doesn't get rusty. So keep that in mind. If you are completely oil free, you may have to just keep it kind of oiled up just so it doesn't rust. So I don't think that's a major thing because it's not like you're adding anything into your actual food. You're just, you know, getting your little dish oiled down so that your food doesn't stick. I think that's pretty minor, so it's not a big deal for me, but keep that in mind for you. You may not want cast iron because you do have to keep it oiled. Okay guys, so this is how it turned out. I thought that they turned out super cute. What a nice little treat to have during the holidays, something a little bit different, and it's still a really, really healthy pancake. So, you know, it depends on what you're going to throw on top of it. I'm putting on maple syrup. Maple syrup is still healthy because I'm using actual real maple syrup, not the fake sugary kind. But anyway, I'm still putting something sweet on top, and I am going to indulge and put a little bit of my coconut whip on top. This is not an everyday thing, but I do think that, you know, during the holiday season, it's nice to have something a little bit jazzed up. So I'm going to be having that, and I'm going to sprinkle some cinnamon on top and make it super fancy and delicious for a super, you know, different kind of breakfast, because this is not a typical breakfast for me by any means. I eat very plain, and usually I eat like, I don't really eat breakfast foods for breakfast. I'll eat like leftover, you know, rice and veg for breakfast. So this is a nice treat on a day off to have something, you know, a little bit splurgy and a little bit more fancy for me anyway. And I thought it was just super cute. Okay, so that's it for my easy recipe. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being here again this week. Take care, everyone. Stay healthy and happy holidays. La da da da, oh oh oh, la da da da, oh oh oh, la da da da, making our Christmas memories. I've been working so much lately, I can barely find the time to sleep. Yeah, I spend my time running around, keeping people pleased. But this is my favorite holiday, it's a chance to start